Yo, 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 what up? It's Mr. Zoo Nation, aka Evil Armor General Grapha, coming at you with my deck profile. So, for one, excuse the shakiness of the camera and the quality of it. I don't have a tripod with me. Hopefully I can eventually get a tripod. So my deck profiles could be like a lot better, but gotta start somewhere. So today we're gonna be doing machining. And I know there's been like a lot of machining deck profiles lately, but then again, like everybody's super hyped for Megacolony all of a sudden. Like, I don't know, everybody all of a sudden want to use Megacolony. But I've been with Megacolony since the beginning, so that's what makes this different from like a lot of them. Matter of fact, I remember when this guy was everybody starting Vanguard because he was like the best one at the time. But now we got Machining Little B as the best one. I even still got some of my old school ones. Like, I still got Greffa, as you see right here. Still got my War Sickle, and I still got Antlion. The only one I don't have, like I used to, was Spark Hercules, and sadly, because I traded it, but it's whatever. I gotta tell, one day I gotta get me and my homie down and tell him the day that me and him went to a was in a locals finals, and he was using Novell, and I was using Machining when Infinite Rebirth came out. But anyway, on with the deck profile. Little B is our starter. Put it up a little bit. Okay, so Machine Little B is our starter. Pretty much self-explanatory. If I have a machining at rest, I get to put them into the soul and re-stand them. So that pretty much tells you what grade 3 lineup I'm doing. Sorry for the bumps, that's my upstairs neighbors. So for my triggers, we have 4 Machining Fireflies. Very interesting one. I was glad when this came out. So, Counterblast 1, if I have a card at rest, I get to re-stand it and then stun one of my opponent's rear guards. So, for that, we're going to have some more criticals. So, that's like the one from Infinite Rebirth, the Machining Scorpion. And for the last one, right before the heals, we have 4 draws. Because we got to keep everything, we got to keep as many names machining as possible. And of course, for the last one, we have the Bomb X, which is the heal trigger. And that is that. So 8 crits for draws and 4 heals. So for my grade 1 lineup, we have 3 Paralyzed Madonnas. The thing I hate about what Bushiroad is doing right now is they don't have a Machining Perfect Guard. I wish we had a Machining Perfect Guard, but we don't. But at the same time, I like Paralyzed Madonna more than the Damage Flipper, so we're just going to stick with that one. And then of course we have our one Ladybug. I'm running Legion just for a heads up. That's the only reason why I'm playing him, and the fact that it has Machine in his name. So we're just going to keep it at that. Then for our next one, we have 4 Machining Hornets. This is pretty much for attack power boost and whatnot, because what I like to do is I like to abuse the stun mechanic as much as possible. I want to abuse the living hell out of it. However, we also got to have the offensive side sticking to it as well. So what I did was, most of my grade 1s besides, well actually this is the only one that has like the superpower in it, but I pretty much want to use like the grade 1s as boosting fodder, just so I can have something to boost a lot, and at the same time have something like my grade 2s and my grade 3s do all the stunning mechanics. So that's that. And then I also have Kakaius. Wait, how you say that? Yeah, Kakaius or whatever. To have it has an ability to where if you boost the machining. Wait, does it say machining? Yep, machining. I get to, and it successfully hits. I get to choose one of my opponent's rear guards, and it cannot stand. This is more for pressure purposes. Again, this pretty much applies more to the pressure. Hence, my grade ones being all of the attack power and whatnot. Even though it's a 6K, it still serves the purpose as my booster. And for my last two. This is Slater, which pretty much when I boost a Vanguard or machine in his name, and all of my opponent's rear guards are at rest. Well, actually, all my opponent's units are at rest. I get the not counter blast, soul charge too. This I will probably explain in a little bit. So I'm gonna put this right here, kind of sort of in the camera's view. And that's all of my grade 1 lineup. My grade 2 lineup is... Where is it? I'm so bad at this, but this is like my first deck profile. Machining Propello. When he hits the rear guard circle, it does not matter if I have a machining in the name or not. It just has to be a Megacolony unit as my Vanguard. Which means I can also use this in my Evil General Greffa deck. Which I am while I'm making it. And I get to stun one of your opponent's my opponent's rear guards. I love that effect. Again, my grade 2s and my grade 3s supposed to focus more on the stun mechanic than any other units in my thing. I thought this was pretty much like the best. Man, that dude is so OG. Then we have 4 Machining Hornet Mark IIs. You can already tell what Legion I'm using. I'm using the original one. Pretty much the same effect as Parpello, but I have to be in Legion. And the weird thing is, for everybody who's interested in a string fight, you don't have to have a Megacolony Vanguard in order to activate its effect. All you need really is your Vanguard to be in Legion, and he can still activate his effect. Just like how, what's the name of that Spike Brothers unit that all you need to do is be in Legion and you can activate his effect. But anyway, and for my last one is Mosquito Mark II. I love his effect because it's similar to Fireflies. So if I have a Vanguard machine in his name, he gains 2k. And then after that, if the attack successfully hits, I get to restand one of my rear guard units. And I get to stun one of my opponent's rear guard units, which I can restand and then stun one of my opponent's rear guards. It's actually an interesting effect. I love it. This also adds pressure, especially when you combine it with this guy. Especially when you combine it with the regular Hornet as well. So that's it for my grade 2 lineup. For my final, I'm using Tarantula Mark II. Pretty interesting effect. I get the soul charge. Well, actually, this is one of the reasons why he's in there. So I get the Soul Blast 2 cards on machine in his name, and then I get to use the effect of stunning one of my opponent's rear guards. Now, I don't necessarily use his effect a lot, or use that first one's effect, but if I wanted to, like, let's say I had this in Legion already, and then I wanted to re-ride, I'll take that out and then put this in the another Hornet back into the deck. So it's like a loop. I was doing that loop for like a while. So plus it also has the effect of drive checking. either him or Hornet. So if you dry check either him or Hornet, you have the ability to stun your opponent's Vanguard. So that was also another reason why I'm not using where is it? Oh shit, that is the wrong fucking one. That's the reason why I'm not using him. I like his effect, even though he can use both him and him as the oh, sorry for that glare. Even though he can use both of these as the mates, but you have to have another copy of them in order to activate the effect, which is what I hate. I know like a lot of people are using this one, but personally I prefer Tarantula. In my avatar, since again this was one of my first major decks, Stag Beetle. I love Stag Beetle. This is good for early on pressure, and this is good for pressure in general, and pretty much one of the reasons why Machining Destroyer was such high in price. And one of the reasons why this went from a 25-cent card to almost at one point a $30 card. So pretty much what happens is, when you put them into the Vanguard, you put them into the Vanguard circle, you get to you don't even have to counterblast or anything. All you have to do is put them into the Vanguard circle. He puts 2 units with machining. He can put up to 2 units with machining in his name from his soul and put them into the rear guard and call them as separate rear guard circles, and he gains their attack until the end phase. So this was pretty interesting because it's an early rush tactic. It's an easier way to get out Machining Destroyer's effect, and at the same time, I really wouldn't say it's one of the main cards that gets over grade 2 lock, but it does hurt grade 2 lock just a slight bit. Not really, but it kind of does. Like, when people were playing Odyssey and shit, and I was playing this card, it was hilarious. Because they wasn't expecting it. And then, of course, especially if, like, he's in the soul, you'll still get his effect off, which is actually pretty good in my opinion. But yeah, man, when I was starting the game out, this is my avatar, Stag Beetle. I still have him to this day. Oh yeah, that's another reason why he's in the deck too. But now let's get on to the Stride, which I don't really use much, which is why I don't have a full 8. So whatever. We're gonna use Jackie Devil because, to be honest, out of all of the generics, this is pretty much one of the best ones. Because when it hits, you get to stun a rear guard from both the front and the back. Pause. That kind of sounded wrong in a way. Then we have 3 destroyers. There's supposed to be 4, but I sold like one of them for money recently, so I'm gonna get like a 4th one, but probably get a 4th one either tomorrow, probably, or something. But of course, his effect is self-explanatory. I get the stun, I get the counterblast one, machining his name. One of the reasons why the deck has to stay full machining, and stun one of your opponent's rear guards. However, if you have 4 more machining rear guards, or 4 more rear guards of machining his card name, you get to activate his second effect, which stuns the Vanguard. Which is the reason why this motherfucker went up to $30 at one point. Man, that was funny when everybody was trying to look for him because this was getting all the hype. I was just flashing that around. I was like, yeah, I have him though. That's hilarious. But man, it's supposed to be at 4, but for now I just have 3 because, like I said, I sold one of them. But I don't even, to be honest, I don't even really stride in this deck that much. Like, To be honest, he's like the only strat I like literally go into. I focus more on Tarantula than I do on him. He's just there just to get the effect off faster and for card advantage. And last but not least, my finisher. I have two stun beetles. He has an interesting effect when he has to be at Generation Break 2, and when he attacks, if he attacks a Vanguard, I Persona Blast 1 and Counter Blast 2. And if my attack goes through, my opponent's Vanguard is stunned and he can't override it. So in other words, if he has a grade 3 in hand, he can't ride it. Which is a very interesting effect. But the only reason why I run it at 2 is because, let's be honest, Megacolony does not have damage flippers. Otherwise, I'll be running them at 4 and I'll be focusing more on Legion. I mean, not Legion. I'll be focusing more on Stride. I am fucking up. I'll be focusing more on Stride if that was the case. So that is all my deck profile for right now. I need to get better at these. Hopefully I can get the tripod that I need. So for now, this is Mrs. Zoo Nation, aka Evil Armor General Giraffe, signing out.